Happy Friday, Denver. I hope everyone had a tremendous week, and thanks for tuning in and joining us here once again. You just got done listening to our friends, the Fricashinas. That's right, the Fricashinas, guys. We love them. We love the support that they give us here at Happy Friday. It's good music. Get involved there at that Instagram link. Now, I'm joined by my compadres here, Arthur Raw.
That's right, and I do have one quick word of wisdom. Challenge yourself. Feel comfortable getting uncomfortable this week. Challenge yourself.
Thanks for sharing that, Art. And, of course, you know, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. John Ekstrom.
What's up? Here's what you do. You create your own vibe. If you hate winter, go to the islands. Basically, the world is your oyster. Anytime you want to create it, make it happen. That's what I'm doing here because I fucking hate the wind. I hate the cold, but I love these guys. Here we are. Let's go. Let's do it. Kev, where are we going?
Well, first of all, I share that opinion with you, John. I'm not a big winter guy. I love your vibe. It's making me feel warm and fuzzy inside. Now, before we get started, I just want to tell you guys this. We really appreciate all the support that you've shown us here at Happy Friday. If you're tuning in on YouTube on the Discussion Combustion channel, be sure to show us some love on the audio side. Guys, Mile High Life has put so much into this, and they're a huge backbone and support to this Denver Podcast Network. It would be greatly appreciated if you can go click on whatever you listen to, Apple, Google, Stitcher, iTunes, Spotify, whatever it is. Go on over there, rate, review, subscribe the program. It will greatly help us on all angles. So, guys, it's Friday. Let's go. December 9th, Denver, Colorado. It's making some news, Art.
Man, we're kicking this one off right, and why we're kicking it off right is because when you come to 5280, the Mile High City, you're entering one of the top 10 most sinful cities in the country. So,
sins?
Yes.
Sins, you say? What kinds of sins are we talking about here, Asa?
Well, anger, hatred, jealousy, excesses and vices, greed, lust, vanity, and laziness, and we could break all those down more if needed. But
those sound like the 7 deadly sins. What are we going to do with all this excess sin, Asa?
I mean, hopefully you're having some fun with it. So, what's going on in Denver? Why is Denver a sinful city, right? So some of the breakdowns to these for the anger and hatred, it's on violent crimes, sex offenders. I mean, there's a bunch of nasty things here.
So I'm going to quit with this effeminate German accent that I've been doing because, oh my God, violent crime. And like, I'm looking at this rundown that you wrote it. Like, I thought this was all in good fun, right? Sins, it's sins like Vegas, right?
Yeah.
Like Sin City. Oh, hey, we're all having a good time. We're all, drinking and smoking the Bob Marley, right, Kevin? Like,
yeah, smoking the Bob Marley. And I just want to say that was a fantastic accent, by the way. It really reminded me of Nick Swartzen and Just Go With It, the character that he played. What was it, Golf something? I can't remember the character's name.
I don't remember.
It sounded almost just like that, so I got a little distracted here. But
yeah, I was not expecting that, and it gave me a chubby.
A chubby. How sinful. Uh-oh. Also has a chubby. He better not stand up. He's going to poke someone.
We're talking sins, baby. So what did you do to sin this week? Did you do something horrible? All I know is that between all these, Denver is in the top 10. And I deleted this from our script here, but I wanted to see if you two could guess where Denver landed in the top 10.
Well, I know who number one city is Las Vegas.
It's got to be Las Vegas or New Orleans.
No, Las Vegas is correct. And
okay,
a place in Louisiana is also on the top 10 list, but it's not New Orleans.
How is it not New Orleans?
It's Baton Rouge, and that's number 9.
Baton Rouge.
Baton Rouge.
Croissants for everyone.
I'm going to go on record. I'm going to guess Denver ranked number 7.
Really? Okay. John?
Denver, very healthy. So, like, one of these things here is, like, excess. And it's, like, obese adults, fast food establishments, things like that. We're pretty good. Oh, excessive drinking? Yikes. Somewhere in Wisconsin.
Guilty. I'm guilty of that one.
We all are.
Denver, I'll go 8. I don't know.
8?
Man.
Okay. Ding, ding, ding to Kevin. Actually, you hit it right on the nail on the head, man. It's number 7, and I'm going to list them all off. St. Louis is number 2. Philly is number 3. Wow. Houston is number 4. ATL, that's right. Atlanta is number 5.
You know what you just hit between Houston and ATL? The 2 strip club capitals of the world.
Oh, really?
Along with Portland, Oregon.
Oh, I did not know
Literally,
that.
I didn't
Houston,
know that either.
Atlanta, Portland, those are the strip club capitals of the U.S.
I could see Atlanta being in there. I didn't know Houston was up there.
I mean, it has to be a hot place, right?
Yeah, well, Portland has like more strip clubs per capita than almost anywhere else.
I wonder why.
I don't know, but
Maybe they just got a lot of fine women out there or something?
I've been to one, and it's like total hipster. All the chicks are tattooed. They're like dancing to Until It Sleeps by Metallica. Like literally, I walked in, and I'm like, what the fuck is this song?
What kind of strip club is this?
Until It Sleeps.
Yeah, like... Yeah.
LA,
all slinky and weird.
LA is number 6. Denver's number 7, followed by Chicago. We already said Baton Rouge was number 9, and then 10 is Phoenix, Arizona.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Phoenix got on the top 10, man. It did.
Kev, you were just in Phoenix.
I was. What do they do down there at Sinful? They drive like shit.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's sinful per se. I don't know. I'm surprised that Phoenix made the top 10.
Yeah, that feels weird.
not much to do
Although,
down there.
this is less a fun list than it seems like at first blush, because as you break this down, it's like vanity, tanning salons per capita. It's like, are tanning salons still a thing? I didn't do that. I did that when I got married.
Yeah.
But that was it.
I never did tanning salons. They always creep me out.
And so
It's fun, dude. It's
really?
You're relaxed and you're just laying there for a few minutes. But it's terrible for your skin.
I was gonna say,
don't go
it
tanning.
just seems so unnatural.
It's over.
the smell is kind of nice though. I kind of like the smell of the tanning oil and stuff. Yeah.
I don't know.
I won't go down my sinful thoughts on that.
No, but you walk in with you come out and you just have this warm, toasty feeling, and there's light pop music playing. At the time I was doing it, Lady Gaga's Paparazzi was really popular.
Oh, yeah.
And so you just lay there and you come out and you're like, man, I'm warm. This is delightful.
And you could even pick the station. They got different stations
Yeah.
in there that you could play and stuff. I used to go to the tanning bed for a little bit with an ex way back when.
Yeah, but seriously, don't do that anymore.
Yeah,
it's
no,
terrible for your skin.
It's not good.
Not to impugn any tanning salons, but ultimately, there's probably better choices to be
Yeah,
made.
it makes your skin look like leather. It's
Well, if you do it that much, sure.
yeah, and there's just some people I think they get addicted to it, and then they start to look like a prehistoric lizard. But on that beautiful bombshell, it's the season of giving, Art. We can do some sinning, but it's time to do some giving.
Yes.
And we got 20 days left until Christmas. What's going on?
Well, what's going on is that there are so many ways to give back. John, I know you've contributed, and I want you to share that as well. But it's just so important, and there's so many things happening in Denver. I wrote down a quick list, but more importantly, I really wanted to hear some of the things that you had given to recently.
Well, okay, so last week we talked about Colorado Gives Day, right? Which was on Tuesday of this week. And basically, it's a way for people to give and make their dollars go further. So many organizations are like, if you give us money, an anonymous donor will give us an additional $25,000 or something crazy like that, right? And so I gave some money to two that I talked about. So I put my money where my mouth is on this show. I gave money to both Food for Thought, which is an amazing program that allows kids to not suffer food insecurity on the weekends, because sometimes kids will get all their meals at school.
Yeah.
So this is a backpack program. The other one is the Blue Bench. It is sexual assault prevention and education. They're trying to eradicate sexual assault. They have resources for survivors. I gave money to both of them on Tuesday. So Art, what else is going on? How can people get involved if they want to and give some money?
Well, there's a little list here that I got, and first one that I have here is the Littleton Life Center is hosting an annual Let's Do Christmas, and that's from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, December the 10th. You also have Marine Toys for Tots. It's their 75th year of doing this, so that's a great milestone for them. Arapahoe Country Human Services.
Arapahoe County.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes I can't read. The Denver Dream Center. And then also on Thursday, December 5th, Channel 4 KBCO Radio. And they're doing 20 Boys and Girls Club. And then we also have 9 Cares Colorado shares the food drive. So it's super important. If you have the ability to give back, you are well off. That's important to do in life. And beyond just giving for the Christmas season, I really want to have this echo through people's minds. You can give all year. It's just Valentine's Day type shit. Don't dote on your girl just on Valentine's Day. You can go hard and love your girl all year long. So it's this is the time, and then you can keep it going beyond the holiday season.
100%. Kristen and I hate Valentine's Day. We don't do anything on it because it's no, we're pretty good at this.
Yes.
Yeah, you're able to spread it out 365. Yeah. You don't need one day out of the year. And I agree, people do get in the giving spirit a little bit in the month of December, and that's great. It gets people out of their comfort zone, maybe give back a little bit. And, I don't think it needs to be measured in dollar amounts or how many toys you're given or how many events you attend. I think it's just the selfless act of giving back. Mm-hmm. Just helping out where you can, whatever you can afford. It's going to go a long way. Get involved. It's the season for it.
Yeah. And now we talk about men with balls. So, it is the Denver Sports Roundup, and we're going to talk about men shooting and shooting pucks and doing all sorts of fun things. I don't know. Should I do the whole show like this?
Please, God, no.
But I was thinking about this because Mile High Life is an offshoot of Mile High Sports, right?
Yep.
So, like, that's not really our lane, but, I mean, sports are ubiquitous. It's part of our culture, where I know it's not really your thing, Art, but, like, it's kind of inescapable. So the Broncos lost again last weekend.
Well, that was a tough one.
And
Great job, team.
I will say they keep finding new and innovative ways of losing.
Excellent.
The Nuggets, to quote our friend Jeff Morton, host of the Gen X Show, also on Mile High Life, please check out the Gen X Show
Yes.
because it's awesome.
It's all bad.
He said the Nuggets are playing like garbage right now. The Avs cannot keep anyone healthy. They've got Mikko Rantanen, Cale
McKinnon got
Makar.
hurt.
Yeah, McKinnon's hurt. So they have, God, what is it? 5 of their top 6 forwards. I wrote them down. Landeskog, Nichushkin, Rodriguez, Lehkonen, and now McKinnon. 2 of their top 4 defensemen, Manson and Byram, and a bunch of depth players. They're all done. The one bright spot here, and I say this through gritted teeth because CU, CSU, I've had nothing but obnoxious interactions with CU fans. They hired Deion Sanders,
Yep.
which is an unbelievable coup. I mean, Art, you've even got to know who Deion Sanders is, right?
I know the name for sure.
Okay. I know the name.
Well, and also McKinnon. I seen that boy slap some pucks around with a stick.
Okay. So, dynamite dropping.
We're getting somewhere.
But Deion Sanders coming to CU, man, that is a real big deal here for the region. He made CU relevant.
Yeah, I just, I think it's going to be good. I'm happy for Deion for getting a great coaching position with CU. I don't follow a lot of college ball, but I respect the hell out of Deion. I've listened to him as an analyst for years. He was obviously tremendous in the NFL.
Fascinating personality.
He is.
So
is.
he was a wide receiver.
No, he was a cornerback.
Oh.
So he covered the wide receivers.
I was close.
But that was a good
I was
effort.
close. I was
like
close.
That. That was not bad.
I think that's yeah. I mean, you got to give partial credit there. Give
Yeah,
credit
yeah,
credit's due.
100%.
Give me a C, maybe a C plus.
Deion also used to be on special teams, and so he would return punts and kickoffs and stuff.
Okay.
He was really good at that. But Deion Sanders, the only person to ever play in both a World Series and a Super Bowl.
Pretty impressive. No, he's definitely a versatile athlete, and I think he's going to bring a lot to the coaching position. I mean, we see a lot of these former football guys getting into coaching a little bit. I'm happy for CU. We'll see what he brings. I think we haven't really seen a guy like that caliber that has been doing NFL for a while, an analyst position, then hopping in to college. I mean, I think back to was it John Harbaugh when he left the NFL to go coach for
it was Stanford at first.
yeah.
And he
went to Michigan, I thought.
He's at Michigan now. He coached the 49ers for a while.
That's right.
And then so there was one Super Bowl that I skipped entirely, and it was the Harbaugh Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
It was Jim Harbaugh versus John Harbaugh.
Baltimore, San Francisco.
Yeah. And so my wife and I went to the Art House Theater, saw Argo, and then got sushi to just
I think that was the Super Bowl where the power went out.
I think it was.
It was in New Orleans.
You know what?
Mercedes.
I didn't watch. I don't know.
Yeah, I remember the power just phew, and they had to postpone the game. But fact remains, Denver sports not doing well.
No, except for CU's got breathed some life into it. Hopefully the Avs get healthy. Hopefully the Nuggets get off whatever garbage streak they're on right now.
Like what, four in a row they've lost
I don't know.
to the Mavericks.
And the Broncos are just really, really embarrassing.
Yeah, I mean that's the reason why I quit sports, because I was blood's blue in the veins when you cut me open. It's orange. Like I was a Bronco fan
okay.
through and through, and like to see us struggling season after season, and after losing Elway, like we couldn't get a consistent quarterback, and it was just, and sure we had Manning for a little bit, but then we keep cycling through. It was pulling on me too much and affecting my week too much, and so I ended up backing out. I still really appreciate sports, and one that I'm really getting into more recently is UFC, because it's just a good competitive thing, and I actually really like watching different teams play, even in the NFL, even if it because I don't have I don't care who wins, so
right.
That's sports is more fun for me when I'm not I'm not fuming over my team making these horrible mistakes.
Yeah, no, I follow you. I was into UFC for a long time. This is probably barbaric, but I just like the idea of 2 men getting dropped in a cage and seeing who's better.
Yes.
Yeah,
I mean that goes back to the Roman days.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, 100%. All right, on the sports tip, Kev, you got one that you're really excited about.
This one's cool.
This is cool, man. I was happy I found this for the program this week. So there was a blind horse, guys. He's 22 years old. He's out of Oregon. He has no eyes. He had to have his eyes removed when he was 8 years old. He had a bad condition, but this horse continued to be trained. It performed well. It was competing, and it now has broken 3 Guinness Book of World Records, guys, as a blind horse. Pretty cool. So the records that it broke was the highest free jump by a blind horse, the most flying changes by a horse in 1 minute, and the fastest time for a blind horse to weave through 5 poles.
What's a flying change?
Well,
Yeah, I was wondering that too.
so I am not a rodeo expert, so all my friends that do that could probably help us out. I know we got some people that listen to this program
Let's
that do
take some
competitive horse
guesses.
riding.
Yeah, Kev, what I'd like you to do is just make something up and say it with the authority of a white man.
What?
So I feel like let's see, a flying change. So it's got
Because seriously, as a white dude, you can say pretty much anything with no accuracy, but with confidence, and people go, yeah,
Yeah.
no, that sounds right.
So I feel like it's got to be it's hopping over the three different the three different things that it has to clear like you do in track, and then it immediately has to change and go back and do it in the same direction.
I think that's inaccurate, but yeah, I like it. That's
No,
perfect.
actually,
Okay.
no. What it is a flying change is when the horse has to jump over an obstacle, but then immediately do like a 90-degree turn right afterwards. So this blind horse jumped over a puddle that also had an obstacle that was 4 feet high, and when it did that, it actually did almost a 180 to get this next obstacle, and thank God to the rider who was on that, creating the hottest flying change I've ever seen.
You know what it actually is? It's when a horse has to jump over an obstacle and then make change of $1 using whatever change it has in its pocket. Okay, that's actually what that is.
Wow, I never knew that.
I know. Well, dude, you come to me for horse knowledge. So
Wow.
I've ridden a horse all of maybe 12 times in my life. We went to a dude ranch a couple of times when I was growing up.
That's
Did
pretty cool.
you bareback it?
Of course not. No, why would I bear? I'm like an 11-year-old kid and I know nothing about horses. Yeah. No, I'm going to do it like Dances with Wolves style, like
just
I'm on the
picture
plains.
you being badass, just holding the mane and stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
No, totally.
I see you doing that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I
No,
mean,
that's
don't take that away from me, John.
so no, that's absolutely you can wear that forever. You know, just me and the cowboy. I'm not wearing a shirt. It was
My
hot.
whole
Yeah.
picture is the horse is walking away, and you're looking back over your left shoulder at me.
Yeah,
while you're just holding the mane
No, that's
barebacked.
that's accurate. That's
shirtless.
perfect.
Looking like Kevin
Shirtless.
Costner and Dances with Wolves.
Huh? Yeah.
That's pretty hot, John.
Yeah, Lieutenant John J.
Well,
Denbar.
and John
That's me.
is hot. I'm sure you're over 250 now, but you've been an Orange Theory goer, and you broke over 250 visits. So I would love to see that shirtless John, barebacked horse, mane holding man.
That's a lot. Okay, let's go to Kevin.
Well, I think that we summed up a lot about this horse, and I don't know his name, but he's really great, and that answers it. So, I mean, I've danced with a little bit of horses. I definitely haven't ridden 12 times, I can tell you that. But I have a lot of respect for these animals, their incredible power, and that's pretty cool.
It's super cool. It's super cool.
Have you ridden Art?
So I've ridden some horses, and when I was younger, we lived on 5 acres. We had 3 donkeys, and you know I got a little hee-haw in me. All right.
Okay, that's interesting. When I was in high school and I lived in Texas for that 1 year, this one chick calls me up who I was kind of like sort of dating. And she goes, "You want to go to McFlurry?" Because McFlurries were new at McDonald's.
Oh, yeah.
And I go, "Sure." And so we got a McFlurry. Then she dragged me out for 2 fucking hours of her horse practice. And I go, "Oh, you cretin." Like, and so I'm just sitting there by myself. And my mom's like, "Where did you go?" And it was Monday, so Raw was on. So like
Oh,
Monday Night
great.
Raw was on.
Oh, and you're missing it?
Yeah, and I'm watching her do this horse shit, and I'm like, I resented her, and I go, I'm never dating a girl with a horse ever again.
Where in Texas was that?
It was north of Houston,
Okay.
so yeah, it was not my favorite thing in the world, but whatever. Yeah, I never dated a horse chick after that.
They're fun, but they can be a lot to deal with.
Yeah.
And speaking of things that is kind of difficult to deal with, Art, that's going to be, coats and car seats. What's going on with that?
So there's this study that if you put your child into a car seat with a big old puffy jacket, that it creates this extra like 1/4 of an inch or just this slight difference in the amount of security that the car seat is going to provide the child. And so if an accident occurs, the child is more likely to get head injuries and all this other stuff just from wearing a puffy
From the
jacket.
whiplash.
Yeah, from whiplash. So there's a company out there that has created a car seat coat for toddlers, and that way you can keep your kid warm, and also keep them safe in the vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have kids. I know that it could be a hassle, right? Like you got to get them dressed. Sometimes if you don't zip up the coat, they'll just throw it on the floor. So John, you have more experience with this, and I'm kind of curious. Like how could that work? And do you always need the puffy jacket? Maybe you could go with the lesser jacket. How has your car seat experience been?
So car seats are the bane of any parent's existence. Literally, like car seats are a huge pain in the ass. They suck to install. They suck to take out. It's like the worst part of traveling on an airplane where you have to pack this fucking thing up. It's heavy. You got to put it in the Uber. You got to put it in the rental car, whatever, right? It sucks. It's fucking annoying. And so you're not wrong though, because even before you put this in there, so my kids have been out of their big, so it's called a 5-point car seat, right? A 5-point harness.
Yeah.
So you've got one here, one here, one here, and 2 back by their hips.
It's like a racing harness.
Kind of, yeah. So kids need to be really secure in there. And if you have too much of a coat, so that's why we had blankets in our car.
Yeah.
So we would put blankets on them when it was cold outside.
Oh, that's a good solution.
Yeah. So this is cool. It feels like it feels like another way to get money out of parents. It's a whole fucking racket. Parenting, there's just tons and tons of expense associated with it. But it is necessary. Don't put your kids in a puffy coat under that harness. If they're cold, put the harness, it's got to be flush to them. It's got to be really tight on them. So just put a blanket over them. That's a workaround.
And since I didn't mention the company name yet, and we do like to do some promotions here, free plugs, aka Buckle Me Baby Coat is what it is called if you are interested in such a thing.
I feel like that's probably something that's going to be on Shark Tank, and Kevin O'Leary's going to shoot it down. But it's a cool name. I like the idea. Obviously, it's a concern. Just in the summertime, people are leaving their kids in the cars, getting hot.
Kev, do you want to hear something weird?
Yeah.
I've never seen an episode of Shark Tank in my life.
Really?
Really?
I've seen over probably 70% of them.
Wow.
So, yeah, that's saying a lot after 13 seasons.
All right. Nice.
I'm a big fan. I like Mark Cuban. I like those guys. It kind of makes me feel like I know things about business.
Well, it's fun to see the creative ideas and products that people create.
That's what's fun.
Yeah, I think that's probably the coolest part of the whole show.
Sure.
Is oh, look at that unique idea.
I get it, but when you have kids, you're in a black hole of pop culture in a lot of ways. So there's stuff that I've never seen and I probably never will. Just that part of my life is consumed with other tasks. It's the way it goes.
Makes sense. You gotta conserve time and put your resources where they need to go. So shifting gears here, we lost another legend this week. We like to kind of pay tribute to some of the folks that pass along. And Kirstie Alley, guys, 71 years old, unfortunately passed away after a battle with colon cancer. Great actress.
Yeah.
Sucks. She was the front face for Jenny Craig for a while. We all knew her from Cheers and Look Who's Talking, one of my favorite movies, of course. Tremendous actress. Big loss.
Dude, there was one time we had a friend, his parents were out of town and he stayed at my house. And we watched Look Who's Talking 5 times in 2 days. So we were 8 or 9 years old whenever it came out. And we saw it and we rented it and we watched it over and over and over again. It's funny, man. I haven't seen it in a while, but Bruce Willis is amazing as the baby.
I was just gonna say, yeah.
And she's the glue because clearly she's the emotional center of the movie. And her and John Travolta have really great chemistry in it. And
Look Who's Talking 2 wasn't terrible.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I was gonna say it wasn't great.
Yeah,
it definitely wasn't the best sequel in the world, but it was okay.
Did you guys ever hear about that? I forget the title of the movie, but it was directed by Bruce Willis, and it was such a bad movie that it bankrupted the studio that made it.
Oh, Hudson Hawk.
Was that it?
I think so.
I think that's it.
Yeah,
and it was so bad that it took the studio under.
I never saw it, but yeah, I heard it was pure ass.
I didn't see it either.
But okay.
It was the only movie he ever tried to direct, but rest in peace. And it's crazy, man, because, you think of Chadwick Boseman and stuff and all these actors that, life is precious. And so I'm going to go ahead and take this moment to throw this out there. You need to enjoy life. And the only way that I know how to do that is to appreciate the present. And I might get emotional here, but I love sitting across the table from you two gentlemen recording Happy Friday Denver. It means the most to me, I swear to God.
100%. And I'm going to throw an under-the-radar Kirstie Alley movie at you.
Okay.
It's called Shoot to Kill. Have you guys ever seen it?
Yes.
You have?
Yes.
Isn't that a Seagal movie?
No. No, that's Hard to Kill.
My ex was definitely into it, and she made me watch it, I think.
Did you like it?
I got to be honest, I don't remember it.
Okay, so...
But I know I saw it.
Why, did you guys stop in the middle and,
No, I think I was I think I had a little bit too much Bob
Because I've had movies like that where,
this is good.
Where you're in high school and, it's on. That Broke Down Palace, I think Claire Danes is in it. That's about all I could tell you about it because the rest of it was consumed with extracurricular activities. But fucking Shoot to Kill, Kirstie Alley plays this hiking guide.
Yes.
And in that group is an escaped murderer, but you don't know which one. Sidney Poitier is a detective hot on their case, and he has to enlist Tom Berenger, who is this wildlife tracker guy. It's a thriller. It's awesome. It's really good. She's terrific in it. It's an under the radar one. So I don't know who the hell knows what streaming platform it's on.
It's got to be somewhere.
But yeah, it's great.
Google it, look at all streaming options. But, Cheers was great, too. Don't forget, the Boston pub story. She was great in that. Some people didn't really like her character. I thought it was cool just because I'm from that area.
I liked her more than Shelley Long in it.
Really?
I really did. Like, when she came in, I liked her a little more.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy, right? Because when people pass and you've been in the public light for your whole life, being a creator or whatever, there's like this celebration of all the work that you've done, and essentially those people do live on through their work and their previous work. So, like, it's cool to think about, and that's why it's like really important while you're in your own existence. Yeah. Do something bigger than yourself that can be remembered and be selfless, and make something more other than just existing.
Well, and art, I mean, that's like why we create this. It's like you said. We're creating this, and hopefully someone somewhere is connecting with some joke that we did that only they and we got.
Yes.
Right? And that lives on forever as a happy place in their memory. It's Happy Friday.
Right? It is Happy Friday.
It's Happy Friday. And it's all about, being creators and sharing those ideas. R.I.P. Kirstie Alley. Yes. And, speaking of creations and art a little bit, let's move on to music here. John, you got the Stereo Gums list of the top 50 albums.
So I've plugged Tom Bryan on this show a lot. He's a senior editor at Stereo Gum. He's one of my favorite writers. I'm almost done with his book now. Mm-hmm. But Stereo Gum, all the writers came together, picked their top 50 albums. None of them could agree on it.
Yeah.
And like the hard thing with sites like this, there's so much music out there that you'll never consume it all. And some of it's just not for you, right? Like some of it I'm just not into. But, there's some of the usual heavy hitters on there. Kendrick Lamar had a new album this year. Beyonce had from what I've heard, is just an exceptional album.
That's what I've heard.
But, I mean, music is so personal in that we all discover it in our own way. Mm-hmm. So I want to bring this to the group. What music have you guys found this year that you've really liked?
Yeah. You want me to take it, Art?
Go ahead.
I found a couple new artists that I'm really excited about. Billy Strings being one of them. He's been around for a little bit. Young kid. Really stepping into the bluegrass scene. I think we talked about him a couple weeks ago when we were covering the Grammys a little bit about some of these guys that didn't make the stage. Josh Malloy, another guy I just found, and then Zach Bryan. These guys are just incredible. Kind of, red dirt country, a little bit alternative, different than the mainstream stuff that we're used to seeing in these top 50 lists. Much respect to those guys that made the top 50, but there's so much music, like you said. It's such a saturated industry, and there's so much great content out there that doesn't always get seen.
Well, Kev, I wanna run this by you because like I'm the only one here who's north of 40, right?
Yes.
So like the thing for me is one of my biggest complaints about this turns people old. Is when they go, they don't make music like they used to. Man, fuck off with that.
Yes.
That is bullshit. It just means you stopped looking.
Yeah.
That's
it
true.
just means you stopped trying.
True. That is a good point.
Like, I appreciate your passion here. Yes.
Because like this is one of my biggest fucking pet peeves. When people are like, yeah, well, okay, you will never feel about music the way you felt about it in high school. Okay? Like that's when music hits you. That's when it embeds in your consciousness. I now have 25 years with this music that I discovered in high school, right? Mm-hmm. But they're still making the music I love. And so, like, to your point, like, I love finding new people. Like, the Linda Lindas is one of my favorite bands. This is 4 Asian and Latin American teenagers creating great punk rock. Like, they weren't even born for the shit that I loved, right? Like, the drummer is 12 years old.
Really?
She is phenomenal. It's been one of my favorite albums this year. The Interrupters made an album called In the Wild. I love that album. This is all like firmly in my wheelhouse. If you love a certain type of music, it's probably still being made. Mm-hmm. All you got to do is go find it.
It's
literally.
So true.
It is. And listen, if you don't believe this, then I don't believe you. So there is good music in every single genre, and there's bad music in every single genre, and you can find both, but you got to stay open-minded and keep listening to new music. Some of the ones that I discovered this year might not necessarily be a new artist, but then this is going to be my top out of these, is Stick Figure, kind of a reggae, and I love that music. It hits me in the feels, and such good vibes and memories that I've had with that already. I love Parafacurva, a very eclectic kind of, it has this essence, but it's like dance music, but it has all of these like guitars and noises that you don't normally hear. And then also I wanted to throw Esso in there. Like I saw Esso when I went to go see Odessa live, and I never heard them before, and I think they have a really great vibe. They have a beautiful singer, or a beautiful voice singer. She kills it, and the instrumentals are awesome. So those are the top 3 that I discovered this year.
Dude, I have a list on here of like 6 more bands that I didn't even mention. We'll mention one more when we get to cool shit to do. But like just keep finding new music. It keeps you vital. But I say that with a caveat because Kev and I have an act here that I don't know about you, I've loved for a long, long time, and they got some news.
They do. Pantera. I mean, a staple of music for a long time. These guys are back on tour for the first time in 21 years, and one of my favorite guitar players of all time, one of the best, I would argue, of all time, Mr. Zakk Wylde. If you don't know him, he went on a world tour with Ozzy Osbourne when he was 19 years old. He started Black Label Society. He's got a lot of solo records. He's joining Pantera to kind of take the role of Dimebag. And Dimebag and Zakk were great buddies back when.
Oh, that's cool.
And just an incredible guitar player. I'm so stoked. I did see a little bit of a teaser of those guys practicing and getting ready for this tour. It's going to be fantastic.
Art, are you a Pantera guy?
I mean, if you're not into some real rock and roll and getting down like that, then
because this shit is hard.
I mean, look, there's an appropriate time for that music. Like, I'm not. That's not my go-to all the time. But there are days where I'm just like, you know what? Like, I need to headbang, and it's essential. Like Rage Against the Machine is for me, and in specific areas of your day. It's like I need that heavy. Like I'm about to crush this. Like this is my day, and we're going hard on this.
Okay, Kev. Off the top of your head, favorite Pantera song?
I mean, Cowboys from Hell pops into my head immediately.
It's iconic.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be easy to say Walk. I mean, that's obviously incredible. That's definitely one of those songs I'm going to play if you're getting pumped up. But, man, there's just so many. Cemetery Gates.
Yeah.
You know, the usual suspects.
So mine is Walk, easily, hands down. Because, I mean, Walk's another iconic track from Pantera. I fucking love Walk. One that maybe a little bit under the radar, it's kind of Pantera's ballad, and it's still just so heavy, is This Love. Like, great song.
That is good.
One of the heaviest tracks out there that Pantera does is Primal Concrete Sledge. Like, I think it's track 2 right after Cowboys from Hell on that album.
Yep, yeah, that sounds right. Pantera's badass.
Primal Concrete Sledge. Dun, dun. Like, and
it's heavy.
Fuck yeah, dude, it's so good.
It's heavy.
Yeah.
And so they're teaming up with Metallica to go on a 2-year world tour.
Jesus Christ.
They're going to be opening up for Metallica on their 2-day event that's coming out. I was able to get some tickets in Dallas, Texas with my buddy down there because they're not coming through Denver.
Oh, that's going to be...
So you look at Pantera from their primal area of Arlington, Texas, at Cowboys Stadium with Metallica headlining with Pantera. Let's go.
Dude, that's iconic. Well done.
It's going to be fun, man.
All right. Well, okay, that brings us to cool shit to do for the weekend. Joe Sib, speaking of music, so Joe Sib is now on a comedy tour. Joe Sib founded Side One Dummy Records, which is one of the best punk labels. They had, at one point, Floggin' Molly, the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, Alkaline Trio, so many of my favorite punk bands. And he had a show, it was called, like, Complete Control or something like that. But it was a punk rock radio show that was syndicated. 93.3 used to play it. He's at the Comedy Works, 12/9 and 12/10. Go to comedyworks.com. You can buy tickets. I've seen some of his comedy. It's actually pretty funny. And then one more music one. So, Almost Monday. This is a band that I discovered just recently. Kristen and I have been watching them. We fucking adore them. They have such an amazing vibe. They're playing the Larimer Lounge tonight, 12/9 at 7 p.m. That is 2721 Larimer Street. We are going to be at a holiday party. So, if it's lame, we're going to blow it off and go in our formal wear. And go see this band. And
I feel like you should just blow it off regardless. And
but if the party's good, because she likes her job.
That's true.
So I got to give her the benefit of the doubt. Yeah. I got to give it. We're giving this thing a chance to
succeed. You still show face.
Yeah.
You know, but then you just have an emergency. You have to leave.
If it sucks, we'll go do it in our formal wear. That'll be good.
Yeah. Yeah, if you got to bounce out to watch a show, that's great. Kind of reminds me of when Jim tries to bounce out from Michael Scott's party at his house because his apartment flooded. And it didn't quite work out in his favor.
It didn't work out for Jim, no.
Did not. But keeping things moving along, the 16th Street Holiday Festival. This is the last day to do it, guys. It's December 10th. So tomorrow will be your last chance to get involved with that. That's at the 16th Street Mall. Or I'm pretty sure that's where you were doing hot liquor drinking. Yes,
that is what I was talking about and messed up last week. Yes, that would be correct.
Liquor? I hardly knew her.
Wow, I am going to blush because it sounds like a good time. But if you love old cars, if you love antique cars, go ahead and check out the Littleton Car Show. I mean, when you get around that old engineering and old muscle and just there's something about the older vehicles that you just it's timeless, right? So definitely go check that out. That's going to be that's going to be on Saturday from noon to 1500. That's 3 p.m.
Gonna be a good time, man. I love the car shows. I love that Denver supports a lot of that. Get your cars out there, have some fun, go mingle with some people. If you're feeling like doing some beer drinking, we got the microbrew tour going on. That's at Ratio Beer Works downtown.
Have you heard about that yet, John?
And that's going on through the rest of the month.
I'm surprised about that with how much you brought up the the beer fest.
Great
Great
American
American
Beer
Beer
Fest.
Fest.
Yeah,
you're right.
yeah, it was forever. We talked about that forever. I'm surprised you didn't hear about this.
I got a lot of shit going on. What can I say?
It can't be everywhere.
Dude, the world has plenty of offer. It's a veritable cornucopia of opportunity. It's up to you to seize it, and therefore, my brother here has brought this to my attention. Maybe I will check it out. I don't know what's happening with my voice, but whatever. We're going to go with it.
I like it. It sounds nice.
It's been nice.
Yeah. So if you want to drink some microbrews, go check that out. That's happening this really all month all this month. It starts this weekend, goes on through the rest of the month. So that's gonna be fun. Ratio Beer Works. Art, what do you think?
I'm so excited for one other thing coming up, and that is going to be the Mile High Sports Christmas Party coming up, and I'm so excited to be there, man.
We'll be there.
We're going to be there,
Yeah.
and that is a sister company, or actually the main company of Mile High Life, who actually puts on this podcast.
That'd be the father
Did I
company.
steal that from you?
You didn't steal anything.
Mother, father?
Look here. Listen here, brother. The father company is gonna
His farger? What's a farger?
his faja.
What's a farger?
Yeah. No, we're going to be there, guys. It's going to be fun.
Father.
Mile High Sports Christmas party's coming up. The whole crew's going to be there, obviously, from Mile High Life. JD, Molly Smith, Jeff Martin. Yep, Gen
Let's
X.
go.
We'll be there. Happy Friday crew, DCPC, John of all trades. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Kip Wilson. I mean, DCPC, John of all trades, not officially on the network, but
That's true.
this show is.
But we'll be there.
Yeah, but the representatives of those shows will be. So.
That's a good point, John. I
Way
appreciate
to
clearing
plug
that.
shows that are not on the network.
That's a good point. And if you haven't listened to those shows that are on the network, well, then you need to listen to those shows that are on the network. But while we're on the network at Mile High Life, be sure to get involved. Definitely like, subscribe to all the programs that are on there. It's fantastic. Get in touch with us over at Happy Friday Den. That's on all social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. If you want to send us an email, that's going to be happyfridaydenver@gmail.com. Definitely write in. Give us some shit. We'll read it live on the air. Send us a segment idea. Give John a hard time for his attire. Give me a hard time for me mispronouncing words. Oh, wait, no, that's Arthur.
Yes.
You know how it goes, guys. We appreciate all the support. And, of course, the Fricashinas are here to play us out. Let's go.